Welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be working on Activity 5.5a, CAD Modeling Features Part 1. We're going to be learning how to use some new, more advanced features today. I'm going to break this into each individual part, so there'll be a bunch of videos. So let's start with number 1. We're making the rubber handle sleeve. PLTW is giving us a basic isometric drawing here with a few dimensions on it. It's not complete. We have to figure out the actual dimensions of a few things so that we can use the revolve function. Now in a revolve function, we're going to draw half of the profile and then do a revolution around an axis that we're going to put into place. So I'm going to scroll down a little bit where it gives us, conveniently, the sketch that we actually have to make. So we're going to be sketching this kind of reverse L-shaped drawing, and then revolving it around this construction line right here in the middle. So for the sake of convenience, I want you to go ahead and do the calculations to determine what these 3 dimensions need to be. You can figure them out based off of here. So like our total distance from our construction line to the bottom is going to be half of our overall diameter. So we know that that's just going to be 1.375 divided by 2. And then this distance right here from the top edge to the center line is represented right here. It's the distance from the edge of this hole to that center line. We know how big the hole is, so we're going to divide that by 2 and continue on. So for the sake of simplicity, I'm going to pause here for a second and let you guys do those calculations. Alright guys, so I went ahead and wrote in my calculations on my diagram here so I know what they are, so I don't have to do determinations while I'm doing my sketching. It's a pretty basic sketch. It shouldn't take us more than about 2 minutes total to make this object. So let's go ahead and head over to Inventor and get that started. So I'm going to start a new part. Make sure that you have the correct project open before you start your part. And I always like this plane. I'm just going to do a bunch of lines, so I'm just going to throw this down here so you guys can see it one more time. First off, I'm just going to make a basic L shape and then I'll do all of my dimensioning. So let's start here. Whoops. Let's try to make that line straight down at a 90, and I'm going to go over a ways and up a little. Okay, now this is one way that you could do it. You can draw the shape and then do the dimensioning, or you can put the dimensions in as you're drawing the shape. It really doesn't matter either way. It's a matter of personal preference. I'm going to start with my bottom here, which we can look at our drawing and we know that it is 4.469. And it's going to make it really big, so I'm going to have to scroll in a little bit. We know that this depth right here, based off of our sketch right here, is a depth of 0.25. So I'm going to dimension this at 0.25. We know that the width of this right here, again from our sketch, is 0.156. And then the last thing I need to do is put in a construction line. So I'm going to go ahead and choose construction line and then choose line. And now this is going to be the axis that I'm going to revolve around. And that's why I'm making it as a construction line. It's not actually part of the sketch profile. So I put in my construction line, and now we're going to dimension from the construction line to the bottom of my sketch. And again, if we look at our drawing here, we know that the full diameter is a 1.375. We're only looking for half of that. This is the construction line that we just put in here. It runs right through the center of the hole. So we need half of 1.375. Now you could do the math yourself, or you could just type in 1.375 divided by 2 and let Inventor do the math for you. I'm a big fan of letting Inventor do the hard work for you. Why make things more difficult? All right, now we know that this line here should be below our construction line. So I'm just going to go ahead and drag it down first to get it into the right position. And then now I'm going to go ahead and dimension from the construction line to the top there. And we know again from our sketch that the small hole here is 0.1875, and it's going to be half that distance because it's this construction line is running right through the center of that hole. So again, have Inventor do the math for you. I put in the the diameter of that hole, and I divided by 2 and hit enter. Now I am fully dimensioned. I'm ready to revolve. So let's go ahead and finish this sketch. We'll get it centered again. And I'm going to use the revolve tool. We've used this once or twice before, but I just want to demonstrate it again. You choose revolve. In this case, we only have one profile, so it's going to go ahead and choose that profile for us. And now all we have to do now is choose the axis to rotate around or revolve around. That's what our construction line is for. Go ahead and click OK. And now we have our basic shape. There's a larger hole on this side. If we rotate to the other side, there's a smaller hole. The last thing we need to do is we need to put in this fillet, and it's a 0.25 radius. So while we're in three-dimensional mode, we're going to choose fillet, change it to 0.25, choose both edges that you want to fillet, and hit apply, and we can close this window, and we're done. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. Larger hole on this side, smaller hole on the other side, just as our dimension drawing said we should have. If you have any questions, let me know. Again, this is 5.5A, number 1, the rubber sleeve handle. So make sure you save your part.